if you're trying to improve your finances, you need guidance that supports your journey, not bad money advice that's gonna send you 10 steps backwards. Most people feel stuck with their finances, or they get ahead only to slide backwards because they're following the wrong money advice. And nowadays, with the internet, there is a lot of that out there. In this video, I'll walk you through exactly where you can get clear, personalized financial guidance based on what stage you are in your wealth journey. I believe that as you build wealth, you will need a support system. You will need to rely on professionals, and there comes a point where you can't DIY everything. Name me one super rich, wealthy person who DIYs everything and doesn't have a support system. Tell me in the comments if you know anyone. I guarantee most of the wealthiest people you know have people they rely on for personalized guidance. For those new here, my name is Lissa Lumutenga. I'm a certified financial planner and a personal finance expert who wants more of you to build wealth and build an abundant mindset. So if that's your vibe, make sure you subscribe. So here's the thing, everyone watching this video, all of you, you're at a different stage of your financial journey, towards becoming financially secure, towards gaining financial freedom, towards whatever your definition of wealthy means. And that's okay. We all come from different backgrounds. We have different income levels, etc. Recently, I did a quick poll on my YouTube channel and asked you guys what stage you think you're in. And the majority of you self-identified as being in the stabilizing and building phases. Now, if that's you, I recommend that you still watch this entire video all the way through because it'll start to give you a picture of what the future looks like once you get through those stages and on to more advanced wealth building. Let's start with the first stage called stabilizing. Stabilizing is exactly what it sounds like. You're trying to get on stable ground. Maybe you're paying down debt, maybe you're building your first emergency fund, maybe you're learning all of the basics of finance, your money management system, your budgeting system, learning how to not overspend, learning how to use credit cards. The stabilizing stage is where I believe most people stay the longest and where unfortunately many people stay and never get out of. And a lot of times it's not because people are doing anything wrong, but it's because they've never gotten financial guidance designed for getting to the next stage. The stabilizing stage, as I would characterize it, is where you are trying to create safety and stability. You're trying to create breathing room. If you didn't come from money, this starts from the second you are an adult on your own trying to fend for yourself. When you're in the stabilizing stage, some of the things you probably need guidance on includes how do you build a realistic money management system? How can you get out of debt? What is your strategy for getting out of debt, especially consumer debt? How can you raise your income or reduce your expenses? Cash flow tends to be tighter in this stage, so sometimes it's also aligned with survival. This is also the stage, like I mentioned, where you want to think about your safety nets, building an emergency fund so that you don't go into debt the next time an emergency hits. And this is also the stage where you are getting your finances organized. I'm not gonna lie, for most of you in this stage, you probably can DIY a lot of this. It's probably the best area to get free education online from different sources, to build up your financial education and financial literacy, and to start building habits. Now, if you do want to level up more quickly and get some personalized guidance, or on the flip side, maybe you've tried to do it on your own many times before, but you keep ending up taking steps backwards. These are some options you can consider for some professional support and guidance. You can look for free or low-cost resources in your community. Sometimes local communities host financial workshops or access to professionals working pro bono. You can seek out your employer benefits office. Oftentimes there is some form of financial counseling or financial coaching available, even if it is just centered around your retirement plan or employee benefits. You can still learn a lot there, even if it's not a comprehensive look at your finances. You can look for independent financial counselors. I'm an accredited financial counselor, and in that capacity, I help people a lot with debt management, with budgeting, and basic money management. You may even have access to financial counseling if you're part of a group, like a local community or a government resource. For example, military personnel may have access to financial counselors. You can also consider financial planners who offer clarity sessions. You may not need ongoing financial planning at this time, but some offer services to sit with you and help get you on the right track to your goals. You can also tap into financial coaches. I'm a financial coach, though I am a certified financial planner. And from what I've seen, there are financial coaches at all ranges of the financial spectrum. Coaches are great if what you need is accountability and guidance, and if doing it yourself on your own hasn't gotten you to where you want to be and you want to speed that up. If you're in the stabilizing stage, I would focus a lot on education. So that could be free education on YouTube and wherever you can find it on the internet, or it could also be programs, workshops, or courses designed for beginners, which, by the way, if you're interested in that, I do have my own on-demand course, full comprehensive financial education for beginners called Hello Money Bootcamp, which you can check out if you want to really level up your finances. Before we move on to the next stage, I also want to give you an emotional reframe, because a lot of times when you're in these stages and you feel like you're not making progress, you can get demotivated. It can feel defeating, and sometimes you lose motivation. So if you are in the stabilizing stage, which it seems like a lot of my subscribers are, just know you are not behind. You are building a foundation that a lot of people don't, and that a lot of adults were never taught. So it's okay, just keep building that foundation, and soon you'll be able to move on to the next stage, which is building. I would characterize the building phase as you're consistently saving and investing, you are potentially growing in your career, you are starting to form automated systems to manage your finances, etc. This is kind of where you move from barely surviving to growing and starting to build more confidence in your finances. Maybe you're earning more. You get a big jump in pay at your job or switching to a new job. Maybe this means you have more discretionary income and you're trying to figure out what to do with it. Do you save it? Do you invest it? Do you pay the rest of your debt off? It's usually at this stage when people are thinking more about, okay, what is my retirement strategy? Could be decades out, but how do I start planning for it? You might want more guidance on investing. Maybe you move on to more intermediate topics rather than just trying to understand what a stock is. Now you want more guidance on, all right, how do I manage risk? What is my asset allocation? How can I plan around the taxes of it all? The building stage is also when you're probably thinking about how you're going to continue to grow in your career. Maybe you're doing more negotiation when it comes to getting new jobs and new offers, or within your current role. And it's in this stage where you're probably going to be optimizing more of your employer benefits to make sure that you have proper coverages across insurance policies, and maybe utilizing more tax advantaged accounts. When you're in the building stage, you probably also have more of a capacity now to think about bigger goals in life, buying a house, starting a family, starting a business. These things are now possibilities because you have that foundation down and you're in this next stage. So how do you get guidance on all these various elements of your financial life? These are some ideas of places you can get more support for your finances, and I've already mentioned a few of them, but this is a stage where if you need that support, you probably have the discretionary income to spend on it. CFP professional, certified financial planner. This could be for a personalized short-term or one-time plan where you meet with somebody, you tell them all of your goals, all the things you want to do, and you want to make sure that you are putting your money in the right places. Or this could also be the time where you hire a financial planner or financial advisor for a longer-term engagement, where they are managing your investments for you and meeting with you on a regular basis. This is also a great stage when you're growing in your career to hire a career coach or an executive coach or a business coach. These coaches can help you navigate not only your career, but also opportunities for more pay, more income, and just getting to the next level in your career. This next one is one I feel strongly about. I think most people, if not all people who want to build wealth, will need this someday, and that is a tax professional. A tax professional can help you not just with filing your taxes every year, but if you can find a tax planner or someone who helps with tax strategy, they can help you start making tax efficient moves. And when you build wealth, you'll start to see that a big part of building wealth is paying less taxes. There are different ways you can legally pay less taxes based on how you manage your finances, and that saved money can be put towards your future goals, saving and investing. Now, before we move on to that next stage, here's your emotional reframe. If you're in the building stage, know that building is about growing intentionally. You don't have to do more, burn out and do it all, but you want to be doing better. You want to be making financial decisions, day-to-day decisions that are intentional and that will get you to your future goals. All right, 2 stages down, 2 to go. If this breakdown is helping you at all, don't forget to hit the like button so that this video can reach more people and reach more women who want clarity on their finances. And of course, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Stage number 3. We started with stabilizing, then building. Now, the next stage is expanding. Expanding is where you are thinking of more income streams, maybe considering entrepreneurship. Or if you don't want to become an entrepreneur, this is focused on really accelerating your career growth. Think of the expanding stage as where you're shifting from earning money, earning an income, to creating wealth, really focused on building that long-term wealth. This stage is important because now you have momentum. You have your foundations down. You don't have to worry because you're not in survival mode. You've already started to build your wealth. Now you want to make more strategic decisions about how you approach your finances and your life. In this stage, when you're expanding, a lot of times what you'll need guidance on is tax strategy, or if you're interested in becoming an entrepreneur or investing in businesses in any way, you might need business planning help. And I'm going to start to sound like a broken record, but let's talk about what guidance you can rely on. It's at this stage where there's a likelihood that one financial professional isn't enough. You might now need a team. That can include certified financial planners, financial advisors, CPAs, certified public accountants, tax professionals, and specialized experts depending on what your goals are at this stage. Like I said, if you are getting into the business world, you might rely on experts in that area. If you're getting into very specialized investments, real estate, alternative investments, you might want some support in those areas. People in the expanding stage might also rely on business coaches or strategic advisors. And something interesting that I do see in this stage, especially for those who are entrepreneurs, is being part of a trusted peer group or a mastermind group, especially with those who have a similar net worth or are very like-minded when it comes to business and financial goals. But it's people you can spitball ideas with when it comes to business and investments. There are tons of communities where you can find these groups everywhere from free, like starting your own, to super high premium to pay to be part of a mastermind. So here's your reframe for this stage. Expansion is not about burning out. It is about leverage. It's about being smart with the resources you now have. What can you outsource? Where can you lean on professionals, especially those in specialized areas? Because you don't have the time and energy to learn every single thing about everything. Now you have the foundations to actually rely on other professionals for their help. Finally, the last stage, which is optimizing. The optimizing stage is what I would characterize as advanced investing. So kind of like the expanding phase, but everything beyond that is now you're just optimizing for wealth. I would also think of things like more advanced tax planning, like I already mentioned, and now really digging into estate planning. What's gonna happen to your wealth when you're no longer here? How do you wanna manage it between now and the time that you pass away? It's not just about when you die, but it's also thinking about how are all of your assets managed now. You're pre-planning for the future. So the optimizing stage is where you're basically protecting your wealth and fine-tuning everything that you've built. At this stage, you probably already have all the guidance you need. Once you start in the expanding stage, that's when you're starting to tap into all of your support systems and building out a team. So when you're optimizing, it's probably the same. There's gonna be a big focus on tax optimization, advanced investing strategies, and estate planning, which can include estate planning attorneys, tax people, etc. So again, not too different from that third stage of expanding, but once you get to that optimizing stage, you probably wouldn't be even watching a video or a channel like mine, because at that stage, you already have everything in place and you have professionals to lean on. I don't have a reframe for this stage because if you are in the optimizing stage, that is amazing. Let me know in the comments if you are, and maybe you can give me tips in the future. I would characterize myself as somewhere in between the second and the third stage, where I am continuing to build, but I'm also expanding my income streams. I don't quite feel like I'm at the last stage yet, but that's my goal. I would love to have the resources to hire a team because my wealth is being built on autopilot. Now, I do want to make something clear. Realistically, like I just mentioned that I am in between 2 and 3. Realistically, you might be in multiple stages at once. Personal finance is personal. There's no one perfect framework that's gonna capture everything about you and your financial situation. So just keep that in mind that you might be in the first stage of stabilizing, but because of your circumstances, you might already need an estate planning attorney or a CPA. It really just depends, but this is for general guidance and education, and this is especially for those of you who've never even thought about how you're gonna manage your money as you continue to grow. But I want to plant that seed because you're here for a reason. You're trying to learn how to organize your finances and build wealth. So if that's your goal, I know you're gonna get there, and I want you to start thinking about these things that wealthy people think about all the time. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you learned anything in the comments, and until next time, peace out.